You know, you're probably here for the same reason that I was looking this up before I went to boot camp. This is one of the weirdest parts about RTC, especially to talk about openly, but here we are. I'm just going to be straight up with you and give you the truth about the showers at RTC. It's alright to be nervous about this, but hopefully by the end of this you have an idea what to actually expect when you get there. So first of all, when you get to RTC, you're going to start your career at the USS Pearl Harbor, and each building on RTC's property is going to be referred to as a ship, like the USS Pearl Harbor, USS Constitution, and so on. And that's to kind of get you into the Navy mindset. Each building is a ship. Anyways, while you're at the USS Pearl Harbor, at least in my experience in my compartment, every single shower was completely covered in curtains, meaning you're standing there and on all four sides around you, there's either a wall or curtains, so you're completely private. It's like a little stall. And the problem with that is that we have 70 or 80 people that are all showering, and they're taking long showers. And by long showers, I mean like 10 minutes. Now 10 minutes for you, 10 minutes for me right now, it's like who cares? Who cares if you take a 10, 15 minute, 20 minute shower, as long as you get where you're supposed to be on time, right? Well, if you have 80 people utilizing a very small number of shower heads, you know, it's going to be like a 1 hour long ordeal to shower the division, and that's unacceptable for the schedule of RTC. So of course we got screamed at by the RDCs for taking too long of a shower time, and because of that, the next couple of times we lowered our shower time, but still it was way too long for their schedule. And once we got farther in training, we left the USS Pearl Harbor, moved over to Ship 6, the USS Constitution, and once we got there, we took a little bit of a tour of the compartment on our free time. And we moved around, we saw the racks, we saw the laundry room, the forward hold, and we went into the head, the bathroom, we see all the toilets and the urinals and everything. And finally we got to the shower room, and instead of seeing a whole shower room with all the curtains and everything and the shelves on the walls for shampoo and everything like in the Pearl Harbor, it was just the 2 or 3 pedestal showers with the 6 or 8 shower heads on top, with absolutely no privacy, just those pedestals like you see in the pictures. And we're just looking at that, and some of the guys were like, oh yeah, all right, time for the real boot camp experience. And I was just like, oh boy, like here we go. That's the shower I was expecting to see from the beginning. That's the shower that I was expecting to use during my entire boot camp experience. And when I saw the other ones in the Pearl Harbor, I thought the other ones were just like for Marine Corps boot camp or something, but no. The Navy's gonna use the same one, the pedestal showers, and I thought I could avoid it, but I couldn't. So the way it works is they're going to say like, all right, it's shower time. And once again, you have like 70 to 80 people in your division. They can't all go in there at once. So you're going to get split up into groups. Now each group, there's going to be like maybe you and me, we're sleeping in one bunk bed. That's your rack and your rack mate. And the other racks that are nearby, like your neighbor and the other neighbor the other way, you know, maybe a couple other racks nearby, they're going to be like group 1. And then there's going to be like group 2, that's about 5 other racks. They're going to be like, all right, group 1, it's your turn. You go in there. They come back. Group 2, they go in there. And that's how it works. If it's not your group's turn to be in the shower, you're going to be like reading from your book and studying for tests, or you're going to be doing something else on your own time and waiting for it to be your turn. So if it's your turn to go in there, you grab your towel, your shampoo, your body wash, your rag. You got like a little white zipper container that, like a little white knit bag that has your stuff in it so that your stuff isn't just flying all over the place. A little bag that they give you, and you take your stuff, you take your towel and your change of clothes in there, and you find a place to put it down. So the way it looks is that you walk in, there's 2 entrances, there's one over here and one over here, and this entrance kind of goes directly to the shower, and then there's the toilets up until here and the urinals, and then from like here down there's like the SIQ shower, the SIQ bathroom, which is for sick in quarters people that are sick with something, and you don't want to share a toilet seat with somebody that's really sick, or you know, touch the same things they're touching because they can get you sick. So if you're sick, use that one, and if you're not sick, you avoid it. And you can't use the SIQ shower. It might be tempting. While everybody else is in the big shower, you just turn on the little shower down at the end. You know, don't do that. You're gonna get caught. Bad things are gonna happen. So anyways, you walk in there, you got your stuff in your hand, and you're trying to find a place to put it down where if you put it down, it's not going to be all wet and stepped on and knocked over or moved. Like, the first thing that's probably going to fill up is the benches right outside the shower. There's like 2 benches you can sit on. Those are going to be the first thing that are just stacked up with people's stuff. And the little place on the wall to hang the towels, those are all full pretty much instantaneously. Now what I did was I would go into one of the bathroom stalls which the toilets at least do have walls around them and like a curtain in the front. The showers don't, but at least the toilets do, because that'd be even more awkward. But, you know, I would go in there and put my stuff in the corner, like kind of in between the toilet and the wall, so that somebody's not just going to step on my stuff or, you know, like accidentally kick it, because there's a lot of people moving around. But I put it in the corner over there, and I knew exactly where it was, so when I got out of the shower, I can go over there and sit on the toilet with the toilet seat down, not using it just as like a chair, and, you know, change back at that location. So anyways, the RDCs are never going to see you in anything less than shorts and a t-shirt. If they want to enter the shower room, they have to scream out that they're coming in and give a fair warning, and they can't just go in there, and there's really no reason for them to go in during shower time. It shouldn't happen. So especially for female recruits with male RDCs are like the Navy drill sergeants, they are never, ever, ever going to see you in anything less than shorts and a t-shirt. Even when you're changing uniforms outside of the shower scenario, you know, you take your uniform off, the camouflage one, and you switch over to the peanut butters, the NSUs, you have your shorts on underneath. Nothing's ever going to be seen. Also, obviously, in case it needs to be said, men and women recruits are going to shower separately. It's not going to be like Starship Troopers. Anyways, with the showers, it's awkward at first, but it's awkward for everybody. Like, whatever you're feeling is the same way that everybody in there feels. And really, people just want to get in there, wash up, and get out. Because of how uncomfortable it was really good for reducing that hour-long shower time down to like 20-25 minutes. People are only in there for like 3 minutes maximum, and at the same time that you're in there trying to wash, it's possible that the head crew, the people that are responsible for cleaning the shower after everybody's done, is going to be screaming at you to hurry up, because they also have to get in, shower, and clean up the whole shower after everybody's done. Because the time is so limited, people really only hit like the most important spots of their body, like their head, their face, their armpits, where the sun don't shine, their feet, like stuff like that. For the average person, most of the time in the shower is spent on their hair, like constantly going like this over your head. Well, it turns out that in boot camp, you have no hair. They shaved you bald. So really, when you're in the shower in boot camp, you like rinse off your head and you move on to the next spot. So once again, in the actual shower room, there's going to be 2 or 3 pedestal showers with about 6 or 8 shower heads on each one. And each one of those shower heads is meant for one person, but it's also a different temperature on each shower head. So some of them are going to be like Titanic ice water. Some of them are going to be like warm or hot and feel really good. Now, you don't have to use one of the ice ones. People know that that one's not very good. So, you know, there's a little bit of space over there. And over at the warm ones, you might see people that are kind of, you know, a little bit, you know, almost waiting in line kind of. So we were courteous about it in my division. So one person is using it, they step out of the way. Someone else moves in, they use it real quick and step out of the way. So you're not just going to see someone hogging it up and you have to suffer in the other one. It's not how it works. Over time, you get used to it and it gets more and more casual. You can start talking to each other and having casual conversations in the shower, the same way that some office workers would talk to each other near a water cooler on break in an office. And that sounds insane. If you work in an office, you can't possibly imagine talking to your coworkers with nothing on like that. But that's what it becomes, you know. Over time, you just get used to it and accept it as a routine. The shower is one of the only places you can openly talk to each other, especially early on in boot camp, because you can't talk in the cafeteria, they scream at you. You can't talk in the hallway, you can't talk in the classroom, you can't talk a lot of places. But in the shower, you're just standing next to each other like I'm talking to you right now, and you are able to talk. Just don't talk too loud or have too many people talking at once, because if they hear it from outside the shower, from outside the head, somebody will walk over and scream into the doorway like, you know, hey, shut up in there or something. It might sound really weird to have people that are not wearing anything to stand there and just talk to each other, but sports players do it all the time. And back in the ancient times, and even some places of the world today, if you want to take a bath, you know, in ancient times, there was no plumbing in your house. You had to go to the river and just take everything off and jump in the river and take a bath with a bunch of random people. Or like in ancient Greece, ancient Rome, there was just the public bath. You go there and you just go, you know, get into the bath. So that's just the way it is. People adjust to whatever circumstances they have to adjust to. Whatever reality they're presented with and have to live with, they just get used to it. Over time, people are going to start singing in the shower. They're going to start singing songs like the cadences that you do while you're marching. Don't worry, I'm not going to say them. But those, and later on you might start to actually remember some civilian music like the Beatles or something and start singing that. Or more likely Christmas music, because for some reason we can't remember any music, but Christmas music never really goes away. So, but eventually it just like goes from awkward to okay to talking to singing and then just being okay with the whole shower situation, because really there's no alternative. You just get used to it and you move on. I just want to say, for the love of God, do not pee in the shower, because all the water is going to collect in the middle into the drains. Yeah, people have shower shoes on, the little flip-flops to prevent your feet from touching the actual floor, but it's disgusting. Use the bathroom before you go to the shower or after you get out. Don't do it in the freaking shower. Anyways, long story short, you got soap in your eyes, you're facing away from each other because the shower heads face out and you want the water going down your back. You know, everybody just wants to get in there and get out. You're only in there for a minute or two. Everybody else feels the exact same way that you do. They just want to get in there and get out. You know, it's awkward for everybody at first, and then you just get used to it. It's not going to be a big deal when you get there, and you're just going to get over it. And once you're done with boot camp, it's not going to happen again. After you leave boot camp, no matter if you go to a ship or an actual command like this barracks room, you're never going to shower with another person like you did in boot camp again. Even on a ship, even in a barracks, wherever you go. You know, I've never heard of anybody. I've spoken to people on ships, I've spoken to people here and everything. You're not going to be showering with other people like you did in boot camp. So you get through it and you get over it.